Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He's confessed his own crime.
This was an unexpected turn.
Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on DL6 runs out today. It's unconventional for me to... I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Miles Edgeworth, take the stand. Will the witness state his name and profession?
Miles Edgeworth, I am prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about the matter to the court.
When Edgeworth was yelling at me about his dream yesterday, telling me about it, I noticed something. One detail he didn't quite fit. That will be the key. If only I can get it to work.
Please, please.
Like, how did the trigger get pulled whenever he just threw the gun?
We've seen crazier logic in Phoenix Wright. If a gun drops on the ground, it's gonna be fired.
Okay.
That's guaranteed.
Let's figure this out.
That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them from fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. Here's my defense. Mr. Edgeworth, do you remember pulling the trigger of the gun that killed your father? No? You didn't kill him. Case closed.
Case closed.
That's all.
And until now, you thought this memory was a dream?
We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. Also, what kind of a fucking elevator is airtight?
Yeah.
Bah! Get the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Here we go. Alright, got to the courtroom, observed one of my father's trials. Was the trial your father was involved in that day? I don't remember very clearly. Only two things. I know my father lost and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago, I don't remember the details.
That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem with Von Karma's evidence. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck. Von Karma induced an earthquake. What a fucking evil bastard.
Yeah, he's dead.
So, there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were the first fine at first, but then as time passed, no one came to help. My father and Mr. Yogi started losing composure and argue. What did you do then? I was 9 years old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then, something heavy dropped at his feet. Do you know what that heavy thing was? What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. Drop, safety comes off. Drop, fires. Worst guns ever in Japan.
And you picked it up. What happened next?
I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them from fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked.
So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi?
I was in a daze. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream.
There were 2 gunshots.
The gun fired once? Yes. There you go, Beck. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Then, they echoed in my head every day. The gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream screamed.
You didn't tell us.
It was a terrible scream. I'll remember it to this day. To this day? Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony contradicts the evidence, but I don't know what it means. I better find it out quick. All right, we'll do the gunshot.
What was it that said there was 2 gunshots though? I just remember looking at the one.
Single gunshot. Well, there's a photo that. Wait.
Would it be the photo? The weapon was fired twice.
There.
Victim data.
Yeah.
Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the gunshot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came.
I see.
But that doesn't make sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony.
You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this as evidence unless you can tell us which page it's on.
Number 2, right?
Yes.
Look at the victim data in this file. It says quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice.
Bravo.
Rabble. There's been a lot of that today. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was in the accidental firing and the pistol was thrown. So
Okay.
who fired the remaining shot?
Rah.
And we have the photo that proves that the first shot went into the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps another shooter who fired the second shot. Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware. Since it concluded 15 years ago, the evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when the second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof that a second shot had anything to do with this incident.
What?
The picture.
I see.
Then, right?
You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice. We have heard.
We have a picture of the bullet in the window, and we have a bullet that was found in the heart. We have 2 shots, and they're accounted for.
Okay.
One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have proof that the other shot was fired had something to do with the case? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible.
Well, give us a reaction.
No.
At least Edgeworth grabs his heart and, falls back a little bit.
Now, Mr. Von Calma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing the pistol is related to this incident?
Yeah, just the bullet.
Do the picture first, wouldn't you?
No, that's the first firing. He said second firing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is it.
Mr. Wright, please think of how we feel about
Taking a look at this evidence time and time again. Every time you show us ridiculous evidence, I feel we're mocked. Ha! I mean, I really don't mean any harm by it, Your Honor.
not making any harm and not doing any harm are two different things, Mr. Wright.
Picture
Try again.
then?
That's stupid. Okay, look. Do you have any evidence that the second firing of the pistol was related to this incident? This is the first firing, though.
But look at it, it proves both firings. Because, view it.
I guess by showing that there was a bullet hole in the door, it proves that there had to be a second firing for a guy to get murdered
Yeah.
anyways. I feel like both should have.
Yeah, I kind of do too. Oh, that one was taken from his heart.
I guess because, oh, I understand.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
showing
yeah,
him
yeah,
this
yeah.
could mean that it was the first shot.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I got ahead. Look at this photograph!
Okay.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
This is a photograph of the crime scene 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying here was Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon fired twice at the time of the incident.
Yeah.
The photo proves it. Oh.
You guys did great.
So let me get this straight. The photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where?
Your Honor, please get a clue.
Yeah, Dodo.
I'm into it. So, we've been knowing this for a long time. And it should be obvious the contradiction is here.
I see a bullet in the door.
Your Honor,
Door.
Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from a pistol. And yet there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot. I want the judge to be involved with that.
Rubble.
Rubble? Oh, rubble.
You believe this? Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who could have that?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand, Mr. Wright. Look once more at the incident case file. The case summary page.
The case summary on page 1.
Look at what's written there. Not a single clue was found at the scene.
We have a photo of the scene, and there's the
Oh my
clue.
God.
Son of a bitch.
If it had been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a... I don't give a shit! It's in the photo!
That second bullet was never found.
I don't...
Therefore,
Well-
it doesn't exist.
Because the second...
Oh, that's bullshit, Karma.
was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of the matter.
No, because that bullet was taken out of his heart. How could it be in his heart and have hit the glass at the same time?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The fucking
Good try.
onus is on you, prosecution. You prove that, then... You explain to me...
Undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door.
Oh, what?
Like what?
Rabble.
In this case,
Bullshit.
Phoenix would have to provide evidence of what provided the hole in the door. So how about you, Von Karma? Provide evidence of what could have provided the hole in the door.
Mr. Wright has proven one thing to be quite clearly. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet.
Wait a second. Von Karma just said that the reason there isn't a second bullet in evidence is because a second one doesn't exist. Yet the judge comes back and says that what I've just proven clearly is that 2 shots were fired.
Yeah.
So is he saying that Von Karma is wrong and hence striking down his point?
I don't
No,
think so.
I'm sure.
No, I don't think
But-
so. Yeah, I know.
So all we have is a single bullet fired. Oh, and I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. But Judge, you just said that I proved clearly that there was 2 shots that day.
Tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong?
No.
No, man, don't doubt yourself like that.
What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? Well, I just wanted to get down to the line so that you turn into a big boobed
Yeah.
Yeah.
boss lady.
Come on,
I'm sorry,
Mia.
Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick! If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. I just need some boobies. It's just, when I saw that photograph, I thought it'd be 2 shots that had been fired. It was so certain of it, I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who'd fired the killing shot, but now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well,
Well, it seems we have the final clue up this incident. 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A magical bullet created the hole, and that was shot by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one more thing of Miles Edgeworth before we pass his verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections?
No, I do not.
So you killed your father? That, though it was not your intention?
Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's confessing.
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce the verdict on the defendant today, right here.
Right now.
Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There's so many things that I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright.
I have an objection. Your Honor, I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Oof.
Nick!
I don't know. The case is perfect.
Oh no!
Gra. On the grounds of boobies? Ah! It must exist.
Oh.
The second bullet. What? What did you just say?
Nothing!
The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. She's blinking into our mind.
Yeah.
She's trying to get through to us, but because we're not a medium, we can only see quick glimpses like that.
It seems waiting is not going to produce any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor!
Wait again? Well, all right then. Well, it seems that waiting is once again not going to produce any... Oh! Yes, Mr. Wright! All right then. We are ready to wrap up the trial. Oh! Another objection!
The second bullet it exists. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back for the final objection.